Hello, my name is Shirley Self, and I'm here to talk astrology. And today I wanted to introduce you to a really interesting moon phase 11. This is Koko. She was a gorilla. She was born in the San Francisco Zoo on the 4th of July in 1971, and at 4:30 a.m. And because she was born on the 4th of July, they renamed her Hanabiko, which I think means fire child, something to that effect. When she was 2, a professor, a student at Stanford, took Koko in hand and started teaching her American Sign Language. And eventually, in I think 1973, check my notes here. Yeah, it would took the gorilla over and removed her from her group, and never gave her back. And that is that's the crux of a moon phase 11 for Koko. Because what happens in a moon phase 11 is that the solar mind is still focused out of itself, out of what it can do out there. What's interesting out there that I can do? And but what happens is that it's the rape of Persephone. And what happens is that Venus, one's lunar nature, is driven down into the chakra, the power chakra, and is then turned inward into who am I and what have I to offer. I mean, it's the source of all creativity, is who am I and what have I to offer. And it is at a moon phase 11 and 12 that this new understanding of one's own creative ability, it's the work of the second quarter, the water quarter, to learn to access your moon, that you might virtually bring forth what is in you and present it to the world and make a difference in the world. And so the rape of Persephone is seen right here at this Pluto in Virgo square of Venus in Gemini. And I guess Koko was a real sweetheart. A Venus on the first house cusp right there. She was a Cancer and a Mercury in Cancer, South Node in Leo here. The Pluto and they're not conjunct, but the Pluto and the Uranus straddle the descendant, or the IC, and show virtually what she had to deal with where she lived after she left her group. It showed it how tough on her it was, how hard. But then a moon phase 11, it's an initiation phase. It's rough. Over here we have the moon in Scorpio conjunct Pluto, or what's his name? Jupiter in Scorpio, and Neptune in Sagittarius, and that is a conjunction there. And here we've got Fortuna, the North Node, and Mars in Aquarius. Now this was a bright, this was a very bright animal, and was quite capable of learning to do what they asked her to do. Go deep into yourself and discover a whole new talent, And she did it well. But it was so hard. It was so hard on her. This Chiron up here shows the difficulty that the Chiron is, your wound. that wound that the world gives you early enough in your life so that then you spend the rest of your life trying to heal it. But that wound is the opening the door to your hero's journey. So the door to her hero's journey, and it shows that wound, was right up there in Aries, a whole new group. She was taken away from her group when she was 3, I think. 2. She was taken away from her group, and they what was the name of the woman who taught her? Francine Patterson. Promised to take her back and never did. So all her life, Koko lived with strangers. Here's Francine Patterson. Here's her mother-father line right there. Francine Patterson is represented by this Pluto and Uranus right there. That's strangers. She lived with powerful strangers. She was taken over and controlled by powerful strangers. She was a Cancer, Mercury in Cancer, remember the farther away Mercury gets from the Sun, the happier it is, and the more objective it is, the less ego-bound it becomes. And she had a really good Mercury that was in excellent aspects to this stellium over here, and to the Saturn. The Saturn up here shows virtually an imprisonment. Saturn in the 12th. And that Saturn and Neptune are, look at this T-square. This to the Saturn to the Mars, to the this Jupiter moon in Scorpio. This required a deep dive for this animal, and she did it quite well. She lived to be how old? 46. So she died before her got around to return. They'd had to give her back. There was a book. A children's book was written about her and her. She had a kitten. She was very loving, and she was given a kitten that she named Allball. And there was like I say, a very successful book written about this. Let me read a thing here for the iconoclast. I am not who you think I am, and you are not who you think you are. Now think about moon phase 11. They've followed moon phase 10, which is the iconoclast who says, I am that I am and not who you think I am. And 11 holds that very, very closely. But 11 also looks at the world and says, you are a bunch of hypocrites. You are not who you think you are. And that was the message that Koko left as she was getting older, was that she commented on the fact that the humans had a long way to go as far as being compassionate and virtually worthy of the earth. I'm not sure that she put it that way, but I know she was very, very understanding of what was of value and what was not. And look at that Cancer. That Cancer that has commitment to other people. Commitment. And that emotional ability to recognize and to read other people. That person particularly. And let me read from her obituary. From her, let's see. Oh, she helped to transform how the human world viewed animal emotion and intelligence virtually. Virtually. We, she was a pioneer, and 11 is a pioneer. They are always accessing new information. That I think that Castaneda might have been 11. I think he was. So, so that's Koko, and she changed a lot of people's attitudes towards animals, and good God willing makes us a little kinder toward things that that Christianity has given us a long time. Of animals are stupid. They do not think. They do not feel. They don't care. They're here for you, and it ain't true. It ain't true. We're all here for each other, or not, or not. It doesn't work. Anyway, that's Koko. I hope you find her as interesting as I did. But look at this inconjunct right there across between that Venus and the Jupiter right there. Yeah, yeah. She could read us. She had to. That's what an inconjunct is all about. Hey, pay attention to this. This is important because this will either kill you or make you sick. That's the inconjuncts. They're either Virgo or Scorpio. And that one is Scorpio. So anyway, that's Koko. Thank the world for Koko. She taught us a lot. Well, I hope you're doing well. Oh, one of the things I wanted to tell you about Koko is they gave her various IQ tests. And she ranged between 70 and 90 on her IQ test. And I prefer to think that the 90 is closer to accurate because it is 1 point higher than the IQ of the current president. I enjoy that an awful lot. Anyway, I hope you're well. Hang on, and don't forget to let the world know that there are certain things out here worth loving and keeping. Take care. Bye-bye.